Hey guys, if you like to party and the stock block is what you're trying to go fast on, we have a new brand for you here, Stock Block the World. Go to the link in the video and support us. It should eventually lead to t-shirts, hoodies, and other apparel. What's up guys, it's me Nigel from Small Time Small Tire. So I'm going to take things a different direction. We still have a ways to go before we get our car done, and I will continue updating that series as that progresses. But I'm going to start a new series with one of our good friends and customers. If you followed us on Facebook at Brutal Speed and Tuning and some Instagram stuff I posted about before, but the 69 C10 that basically started as a show truck, it came to us all steel with a small block Chevy making a pretty anemic amount of power. He wanted to turbo it. Upon further discussion, we decided to go ahead and do an LS turbo. I think it made 500, something like that, 550 on pump gas. Added methanol and a 4080. Made another 100 horsepower. Ran 690s at over 4,000 pounds. Decided that he liked drag racing a lot more than car shows, and it kind of spiraled to what we have now in a few transitions. He did a few hundred pounds of weight reduction, ended up coming out and running some 630s with a 4080, 640s, and we were still getting it figured out, but decided to do a 400. Long story short, that set up with a S488 and E85, ended up running 570 on stock computer. Then we got some more weight out of it the following winter, and I'll try to get some pictures in here too so you guys can see how things escalated. Ended up to still being a little bit over 3,000 pounds, but with the S488 we went 499 at 140, and that was with the factory trailing arm setup. Ended up breaking, factory style, had aftermarket trailing arm setup, which ended up breaking the Heims on it. Ended up doing a 9-inch or a 4-link setup at that point, and still got the 12 bolt in it. And from there, ran a bunch of bottom fives, had an issue, and decided to set the game up. After that, so this is where we're at now. This is another one of our 5.3s. It's an aluminum block pin mains from TIC Performance, custom BTR cam like we have in the Red Fox body, the TFS 220 heads, Holley high ram. It's actually our old high ram. We sold to Allen, and it's got 2 sets of fuel injector clinic 2150s in it. As you can tell, no intercooler. We switched it over to methanol now, and also it's got a Precision Pro Mod 94 like we have, a Gen 1. We actually bought them from the same guy selling twins, and it was kind of either buy them both or not one of us get one. I built the headers 3-4 years ago at this point, I think 3.5. We built a new crossover for the new turbo setup. Added some bars. Before, the cage wasn't tied into the front end like that, so we added those bars just for a little bit of extra structural support. Did the fuel cell up front. Got the, let me see if I can get it in the camera here. Oh man, everything's hidden. Got the AEI Engineering mechanical pump set up with fuel cell up front, 5 gallons. This is a stainless line feeding the pump itself. Same as us, we have a small injector and a charge pipe just for extra cooling, and that's kind of the gist of it. Converter's a little bit bigger than ours, but that loosened up after last year. I think that was some of our problems last year. But I know some of you probably wish we would have documented a lot more on this, but it's just kind of an afterthought. It hit me while I was thinking of things to document this year, since, like I said, we're going to be down for a while. I wish I could document most of the build, but this applies to both cars. Any customer stuff. We're a small team. It's just John and I, it's 2 people, and you get these projects, they take so much time as it is, and it's hard to stop what you're doing to just start filming. We can't afford a dedicated guy for just media stuff, so it's you just got to do what you can and try to make the best of it. Hope that the stuff turns out good for those of you who watch. But what I'm going to do today is, so today we just got started up last week, finished all the loose ends up, tied up all loose ends yesterday. retort the heads. This is the first time around we've used Athena gaskets. We were definitely at the limit of them before with our car, and I had some to use just in case down at No Mercy, and unfortunately, we had to wreck, so we didn't really get a chance to blow the other ones off. But went ahead and put Athenas on this one, and we're just going to see how it does. It's still the same 5.3 pistons we always use from BTR. They're 3.8 bore pistons, and he's got the Crowler billet rods opposed to the aluminum rods we have, because I think the aluminum rods are a good idea, but we hadn't really tested them yet, and I know you guys have had good luck with the billets, so I was like, let's just go that route for Allen's. But yeah, that's really about it for now. And another thing too, this one's also Fuel Tech, because we're Fuel Tech fans here. It works good. Everybody has their preference. I don't really care what yours is. We've had good results with Fuel Tech, so we continue to use it. And I'm not going to change that based off of somebody's opinion on the internet. As you can tell, I was just getting some of the drivability, idle, and stuff like that taken care of. But I noticed we got a big ass oil leak. It looks like the oil pressure sensor on the back of the valley cover plate is leaking around the threads. So gotta let it all cool down and see what we got. But it's pretty messy looking. As you can tell, a big trail of methanol laced oil. So that's really stupid, but I guess it's just another day. Alright guys, so I think I got the oil leak fixed. The sensor itself, it wasn't loose. I mean, it probably could have been a little bit tighter, but you can see signs of Teflon on it. So just put some more liquid Teflon on the threads, put it back in there, and I'll just have to keep an eye on it. But assuming no surprises like that, can finally start on the fun stuff. Alright guys, so last update, as you can tell we got the dyno session complete. Had some issues earlier on as far as, for the lower power stuff I was starting in second, and this thing does have some boost creep, which I figured it may with the 38mm wastegates. That's something we just carried over from the initial street build, but I mean it creeps to like 32, 33, and we don't, we're not going to run, the only time we'll be running the boost that low is as it transitions into a higher boost level. Hopefully the first pass, it should make about 40 pounds 1 second out or so, depending on load and how we leave and stuff. So kind of gives you an idea how we run it. So I'm not too worried about the creep situation. We still got plenty of control on the two-step as well, because it's more of a RPM oriented setup creep, like, so it's your typical style. It's not like it's blowing right past the gate like it was when we had the 94, first with the 94 in our car with a single 60. But it did well. We had to stop at one point and realize it wasn't going into high gear, and I thought I didn't hear it pulling down, but some of these 400s I've noticed you don't really get a very definite 2-3 pull down when you're just cruising, so I just chalked it up as that. But finally I did some other, I started driving a little bit more aggressively and noticed that it wasn't going to third, and I was like, alright, so figured out the problem, readjusted the cable, and we had third, and it worked great. That was really the only issue besides the oil leak, and thankfully that was easily resolved. Overall, I'm pretty happy. It's always nerve-wracking the first time you're on the dyno with a new setup, and especially a new engine is not ours. And even if it's ours, I don't want to break it. But if it's somebody else's, you really don't want to have an issue, because even if it's not your fault, it is. But can't complain about the old truck. It did good. We're going to try to get a track rental here soon, since everything's currently closed down from any events, it looks like, around here due to the coronavirus stuff. But all in all, I'm glad. We just need to go over everything one more time and probably change the oil, and we should be good to go. But of course I will definitely update you guys on the first outing. If you would, make sure you please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to have more content coming of Alan's truck, and we have some other customer stuff as well. I plan to try to document when we get to the track with them. Thanks. Yesterday I noticed on Alan's truck, it's moving a lot more on the dyno than most of them, and I couldn't figure out why. So when I went to remove it, I looked down at the dyno where the sliders lock in. Basically the sliders go into the dyno, they twist them in, and you go up and over the axle for the first set of straps. Well, accidentally cut it off. So I noticed on the right side that it was bent way up, and so I think that's why we had so much movement yesterday, which these pieces, they're about, looks like 90 thousandths thick, give or take. So I ordered, the material came in this morning, and they're 1/8 inch thick, so it should have about 30 more thousandths to play with, as far as, it should help out with the rigidity of the material. But you can just see how bent up they are. I cut them out of their holders and stuff, and I'm going to put the new ones in there and weld them. But I kept wondering yesterday, like, why is this thing being so violent on the dyno? John's car made similar power, same ratio, same transmission, same final drive, same tire. Well, his tires are a little bit bigger, but still. And it's like, why is it not? Why is it doing this? And that explains it. We just had a lot of movement there.